Let's be honest, teaching is one of the most underpaid, undervalued, and overworked professions in the world. Some say teachers don't get tired after all. They only work a few hours a day. But is that true? Or are we silently watching passionate teachers burn out while holding the future in their hands? Today, we are diving into a controversial but urgent conversation. Teacher burnout versus teacher balance. How to stay motivated. Joining me is someone very special. Not just any teacher, but one of the longest serving pioneer tutors at Blooming Kids House. She walked this journey with us from the early days, 19 Babara. She has seen the highs, the challenges, and she still shows up with passion for her students every single day. Please welcome Miss Sheung Akimbola.
Thank you. Thank
You
It's
are
good to be
welcome.
here.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
ma'am.
Let's get real. People often think burnout is just being tired. But for teachers, it runs deeper.
True.
From experience, you and I know that. What does burnout actually look like in the teaching profession?
All right. So for me, I'll say number one is physical exhaustion, where in the physical school, you have lesson plan being written for just one class. But for the online space, you have different learners, different learning styles, different grades, and this can lead to exhaustion because you're planning for these different learners to be able to give them your 100%. Another one is emotional fatigue, where you find yourself that you're pouring into your learners, but you're not pouring into yourself. And you cannot pour into your learners without pouring into yourself.
Because so you can't give what you don't have.
At all. You have to fill your emotional cup. There's what we call an emotional cup. So you find the things that give you joy, the things that give you that makes you 100% ready to give to others. But if you're constantly pouring into your learners and you're not pouring into yourself, you have emotional fatigue. And the last one is the loss of joy. This one that is key. What is happening now, because online space is booming.
Let's get real.
But then you find out that sometimes we lose our why. The reason we even got into this space in the first place. So you find people do not understand teaching as a passion anymore, as a calling. They now see it as a duty,
as a hustle. They see it as a hustle.
I want to
see
get all the money.
Let me get all the money
I need to get.
Yeah.
So that can cause loss of joy, where you now see it as a duty and no longer as a calling at this time.
Yes. And that brings me to what I always tell people about the teaching profession. It is the mother of all professions.
It is.
Aside medical aspect, like being a doctor, a surgeon, whatever. Because we are not selling products. We are not dealing with inanimates
at all.
We are dealing with humans.
Yeah.
And when I even say I think we are even far above the medicals, is because we are dealing with children. Emotional children with different temperaments.
True.
And at the end of the day, you will sense that your students, they suck up your vibes.
Yeah, and that's where the emotional fatigue comes in, because you're pouring into them. Because you can't get into a class, you have to be 100%. If you're coming into a class and you say, hello, how are you today? Your learner too is probably just going to
be silent on you.
Hi, Miss Sheung, I'm fine today.
Imagine me enter and say, hello, everybody.
Yes.
You're
So
going to get yes.
Saying so emotionally, you have to be 100%.
So it is safe to say that you cannot afford to lose your joy in the teaching profession.
No, you can't. You can't. That's where you have to also find a way to pour into yourself.
Yes. Now, let us get real. What are some of the root causes of teacher burnout, especially in our Nigerian and global context?
Okay, like I said before, I talked about physical exhaustion, I talked about emotional fatigue, and then loss of joy. Now, to break it down, we have heavy workload and unrealistic expectations, where you now, because you want to accumulate so many learners, you now have a heavy workload. Because you need to know your strength, you need to know your capacity. But if you have a heavy workload where you have maybe 10 learners, it's quite heavy. But I mean, if you have the capacity,
they do pass yourself.
It's okay. But then, I mean, it's there. The workload is there because you're also going to do a lot. You're going to learn to accommodate each child every time you meet the child.
Worksheets,
the reports and all of that. And what if the child didn't even get what you have taught? You know, the first time, the second time,
back to the drawing board.
Yes. So unrealistic expectations is also sometimes when you have a learner who is doing very well at 50%, and then you think you probably have told yourself that you can get this child to 100%. Meanwhile, the child is moving at a pace of maybe 10%.
You know, sometimes, Miss Joe, let's not lie, let's not steal. Parents can also bring those
that's
Imagine, let me give you an
my
example.
second point.
A child that is just in preschool, for instance, maybe 4 to 5, and the child has not even started learning numbers. And because I face this a lot as an enrollment officer, they come in, they are just starting out. And they are expecting you to give them a teacher who can work with that child within maybe 2 months. They want that child to learn 1 to 500.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
So that's where you as a tutor will come in with your expertise and say, I can't achieve this, but you can give me certain months, because you know that it's an unrealistic expectation. And that's that brings me to my second point, which is pressure. Pressure from management, pressure from parents,
pressure from
pressurizing at all. So when someone, because you have even also stated that, you know, parents can come, you are already defending your tutors.
Yes.
But then you have tutors who would say, don't worry, I can achieve a lot because...
But what do you even want to gain? Like, do you want to... I always tell my people, you need to calm down.
I'm telling you.
And you don't need to overdo things.
No.
I know you want to be perfect in the eyes of your parents, which is good, because you are not only serving the children, you're also serving the parents.
Yes.
But don't give unrealistic expectations. Another thing I've seen over time, we have to consider the child.
Yes.
We go with the flow. We go with the pace
of the child, because not every child will be at 100%.
Absolutely.
So if a child who was at 50% has made progress to 70%, please know that that child has made progress, rather than you pressuring yourself because you have other tutors, probably the parents are shouting their praises, you're seeing feedback on the WhatsApp status, and you're pressuring yourself.
A challenge.
Another one is lack of recognition. This one, I'm just saying it because it's not in Blooming Kids House, to be honest. We have this sense of belonging in Blooming Kids House. You have where children have, especially learners from Texas, where they've done their STAR test, and they come with great results, and we have you know, posting this in the group, and everyone knows that you've put in effort, you've done so much, and the parents too will tell you, oh, my child, you know, got an A, honor roll, and all of that. So I won't, but I mean, we're talking about teachers burnout. So any other person could be listening to this, not just Blooming House. So lack of recognition or support can affect, where in Blooming Kids House, we have great support. We have resources. In fact, we have a group for resources
alone. So you cannot do life alone.
Yes. No. We have group for resources where you have books, you have games,
even
you have apps. I mean, the last we had a conference sort of in December where we had our tutors coming and we were able to teach each other. So that's support.
Amazing.
That's wonderful support. Another one is isolation. Now, you said you can't do life alone. That's my best phrase in life. You can't do life alone. So sometimes people, tutors think, oh, I'm the smartest.
No.
I remember that conference we went last week, and they said, don't be the smartest one in the room. You're not going to learn anything. Because no man is an island. Where you think you actually know up to, another person actually starts from there. So you need to find community. Don't be isolated. Don't think that you're the only one who knows everything. So I
Even
think
our profession is for lifelong learners.
yes,
You have to keep
basically.
learning.
True.
And how can you learn if you are in isolation?
No, you can't. You
so
can't.
you need to bond with
and
your
things are
teammates.
happening every day. The world is dynamic.
It's a global world.
Yes, so you can't afford to stay
Ever-changing
in your
world.
own world and think that you know it all.
So go and network today.
Yes,
That
please.
tutor or teacher, whether you're online, and that we are not only speaking about only online, because people may be thinking, oh, what about me that I'm just in the it's these things,
yes.
all those things we are mentioning, they
I mean, you
also
went
work.
for a conference on Saturday.
Yes.
Let there be teachers.
Let there be teachers. And
you know,
it was
like
mind blowing.
Yeah.
I was able to connect not just about the program, which the program was phenomenal, because we were declared the largest gathering of teachers in by what Guinness Book of Record.
And it was majorly for physical classes.
Yes.
Because teachers are leaving the physical classroom now.
Yes.
So
should I even found
very
more
good.
public school teachers in that gathering.
Imagine.
So we were able to connect, and lots of beautiful collaboration came out from there. So you guys, you better watch out. All right. From this question, we should all have gathered that it's not the teaching that burns us out.
No.
It's the teaching without support and balance. You've been at Blooming Kids House for years. I think this is almost 5 years. What have you been doing to stay motivated year in, year out, day in, day out with your students?
Thank you for the question. So number one is setting boundaries.
I know.
I know some people are already
DMV.
so people are already looking at me and they're like, oh, Miss Show, you can't readily call her, please, unless it's an emergency. There really isn't any need for anyone to call me for my own job, basically. So I set boundaries. There's DND. You can't just call me anyhow, like I said, because I already have the general administrator told me one thing in the last management meeting we had. She said, Shehu, just give yourself 2 hours to do what you need to do per day as a quality assurance officer. And I started working with that. So
how is it going?
It's going fine.
But do our job,
Of course. So when people reach out to me, I tell them you can chat with me. Even if I don't answer you,
I'll respond.
I'll respond because you might be calling me when I'm also teaching, because I'm also a tutor. I tutor kids. So you might be calling me at that time. You might be calling me
when I'm resting.
Yes, and once I'm up, I might not be able to go back to sleep. So that's very, very important. Setting boundaries. Yours might not be DND. I mean, if you have reasons to
let me
not put your phone in.
My own is when I'm putting my to-do list, I always add rest as part of to-do list. So it's to-do list.
Yes, and you don't even have to communicate your boundaries to people.
Yeah.
You just know within yourself that this is what I'm going to be doing that will work for me. Another one is building a community, because we have said you can't do life alone.
I love people.
So in Blooming Kids House, we have the WhatsApp community. In the WhatsApp community, you have announcements, you have the general group, you have the birthdays where
jokes, inside jokes,
resources, group as well. So I mean, but if you now decide to stay isolated, that's on you. Which I'm not, I'm saying that it's not the best. You need to be mindful, you need to be intentional. I used to tell people, I always tell people that I'm actually an introvert. But people will say, no, you're more of an
because
extrovert.
You're always gingering us.
It's being intentional, because you can't
do life alone.
Tell people you can't do life alone, because you need people. There's no way you can do life alone. So you need people, you need passionate educators, you need people. And one thing, I'll keep throwing it back to the conference. Sometimes you might think that, if I'm even going to find the people, I'll find people that are exactly like me.
No. How do you want to grow?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
In our community now, we have a weekly newsletter. I know that when I post on my WhatsApp status, I have people that are not tutors who will say, wow, this thing is speaking to me. And I love sharing it. People are always looking forward to it. They'll be like, where's this week?
Oh my God.
So you can't do life alone. In community, you find out that you're not whatever is going on,
you're not alone.
It's not peculiar.
Yes.
You hear somebody tell you a story, my learner is doing this, or a parent is doing that, and you just realize that you're not alone, which is very good. Another one is creating a routine for yourself. You have to create a routine for yourself. for self-care.
Go to the spa, baby.
I'm telling you, tell yourself if you can't afford every month, I mean, go once in 2 months, once in 3 months, go get a massage. Also, self-care is taking a water break during class. Just tell your learner, I have a quencher and I used to put it right beside me to drink my water. Now, what I do is I put it a bit far away from me. So I just tell my learner, I need to take a water break and I walk. That walk alone helps
blood flow.
And then go out and get vitamin D.
I saw you the other day on the train.
So that's also because I have a tutor who went on Qatar, and I told myself I don't have money for Qatar.
You don't have 2 heads.
Let me go to Abeokuta.
Teachers should not be thinking small. Yes.
So things like that. And that's also community, because I have someone who says, "Oh, at a very affordable rate, let's take you on trips," and which is very good. So these things you might not even think about them on your own, but within the community, you can also find ways to, create.
You did something
for
interesting last week. You guys paired up and you went to a fancy restaurant.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
And I told them during lunch, and I said, we don't even have to be friends. We don't have to be checking up on each other. But once or twice, I can say, "Oh, hello, how are you doing?" and all of that. That's community. So you can build your own. Experience. You can build your own community of intentional educators. Absolutely. Another one is having supportive leadership.
Hey,
improving kids out. 2 hands in the air.
High fashion.
2 hands in the air the leadership is very, very supportive. I always feel that Blooming Kids House is home for me, because for you to work with someone for years, especially in the online space, is not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke at all. So it also speaks to the leadership. It speaks to the leadership a lot, where you are getting that support, whether it's training, whether it's being seen and being recognized, is very, very important.
That brings me to school leaders, please. Leadership is not all about giving orders or appointing JD, job description and all. Because we need people. You need your team to be sane, to be happy. Like I said before, teaching job is a happy job. You have to be happy at all times. So you need to find ways you can make them happy, support them. And that's why I love Hangout, our quarterly Hangout. We work on the online space and we just come there, connect, not just to come and talk about work, but celebrate ourselves and really have a good time.
Yeah, and that brings me to my last point, which is celebrating your small wins with your students. Like I said, you have a learner who has moved from 50% to 70%. Please celebrate it. Because life is a journey, it's not a destination. Absolutely. You're moving to 100%, but this learner has moved 20%. Please celebrate it.
Please do.
Don't wait till that perfect time where you're saying, "Oh, my learner is at 100%." Or you get honor, you got honor. That's the only time I'm fulfilled as a tutor. No. So that alone has also helped me.
And to parents, I always say this anytime. It is not about your children winning the AB role, honor role, whatever role. It's very beautiful. We love celebrating them. But like she said, learning is a journey. It's like a marathon. So we always also want you to share with us when you notice all those leaps. Maybe my child was not couldn't write curve before. Now he or she can write curve to make maybe A or number 2. That's a milestone. That's a milestone worth celebrating. So let's celebrate their wins. And all of these points, I'm just like, this is a real masterclass on its own. The next time we are coming here, you will be able to watch this podcast.
I agree.
What would you tell them about staying motivated?
All right. Like we have, continuously said, you have to stay motivated because you need to remember your why. Why are you in this profession? To start with, you don't want to lose your joy. You have to keep your why behind you. Sometimes you can even write a vision for yourself, a mission statement for yourself. The brand has a mission statement, but you also can write a mission statement.
I love that.
So you stay motivated. because of course, we have intrinsic motivation, we have extrinsic motivation,
Yes.
where you can motivate yourself apart from the motivation that you get from outside.
Yes,
So you have to continually motivate yourself with the why. Because sometimes it can be overwhelming.
I can
be overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard about Let There Be Teachers, I'm also telling myself that this is a pandemic, because teachers are leaving the classroom.
They are leaving.
And my children are still in school.
Who are going to be teaching our children?
My children. So it's really a pandemic, and we need to remind teachers to not forget their why. Remember your why. Why are you in the profession? So if you remember your why, you stay motivated.
No matter what.
And stay in the profession.
Yeah.
Another one is, like I said, focus on progress, not perfection. Focus on the progress that you have made. I, for one, have been in the profession for years, and I know how many times people have said, teachers, they don't earn much, they don't live
good life.
You get, they're not, but because of your why, you stay there. And then the little wins that you have now, where, you can buy a car, you can build a house, you can go on trips. All those
eat good food, even
celebrate.
As small as eating what you really want to eat, like taking parfait, taking banana bread.
Because if you're waiting for the big things, you might also lose your joy. Yes. So that also is very, very important. Focus on progress that you have made, not perfection.
Yeah.
Also keep learning. Like you said before.
I love learning.
Like I said, this thing, we will keep on reiterating it.
Yes.
Because people need to understand. Be a lifelong learner.
Absolutely.
Don't be the smartest and think I know it all. Nobody needs to teach me.
Things are changing every day.
I'm telling you.
Changing.
AI has come to
now
stay.
Look at, if you still thinking quizzes is still quizzes, what's the they change
ground.
So you cannot. You may be so good yesterday. If you stop learning, then you're going to be in the history,
you know the funniest
in the past.
Even your learners will teach you if you allow them.
It was my students that introduced me to booklets. Because I only knew of quizzes and Kahoot. And then one day, my student came into the classroom and said, guess what, Miss Yinka? We started using blockets. And I said, okay. I'm sharing my screen. Gain control of my screen. Then I put on the gain control, and the boy, Murewa, he just signed it up. And before you know it, I just fell in love with blockets. I said, okay, I'll be interchanging it. Because you have to be changing flavors. Your students will get tired of you when it's only one-way traffic. Today, if you are only using quiz. In fact, quizzes is tired of you. So you need to explore. You need to learn. You need to be a lifelong learner.
Very
so that
important.
you're also
teaching your learners also to be independent thinkers. Because they're not waiting for you. They know that, after teaching me a while, Miss Shehu is going to play a game. Last week I was teaching a learner, and he said, I have a game on this topic.
Wow.
And I'm like, you've already got it? He said, yes, because you told me that you search, and then he asked me, he's in grade 2.
Wow.
In grade 2. And he said, okay, so how do you get your games? And I said, sometimes I just search and I say, odd and even numbers games. And then he brings out the games for me. Wow. And he did that as well. And he said, I want to show you. It makes your learners also independent thinkers. Not that you're the only one pouring into them. Remember, your emotional cup is very, very important.
And that is why I also like saying something about, especially we Nigerian teachers. In fact, the brilliant ones, especially in math, there are ways they teach their math over there.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to digress a little for our parents abroad. It's not about, can they interpret the curriculum? A brilliant creative teacher in Nigeria can interpret any country's curriculum.
True.
Okay? So it's now for that teacher to calm down, learn, like we're saying, relearn.
Yes.
You are relearning. So that you'll be able to calm down and even listen to your learners. How did they teach you these
strategies?
The strategies differs, but the curriculum is still almost the same.
Yes.
And it boils down to you having a learning heart.
Yes.
You want to continue to learn.
You
want to also learn from the learner.
Very important.
So you just have to be, don't be proud. Calm down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Also, I mean, like we said, also is connect with passionate educators.
Yeah.
Create a community for yourself. If you have to do a monthly hangout with yourselves, very, very important. You will
Absolutely.
learn a lot from other people.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Well done. Thank you for all these gems you have given us. I'm sure it's going to stay with us for a while and keep us motivated, because in this profession, you need your joy. Don't lose your joy.
No.
In anything that you want, don't lose your joy. Okay? So thank you very much. That is inspiring. Motivation is not all about feeling tired, but about finding the new reasons to keep going. You need to keep going because your children need you. Your learners, I call my learners children.
Yes,
your children, they need you. Okay?
True.
Burnout is real. But so is balance.
Yeah.
You can actually maintain balance. If we want teachers to raise motivated learners, we must first support teachers to be motivated themselves, because they cannot give what they don't have. So thank you, my beautiful Miss Sheon, for this honest and uplifting conversation. I am charged to be motivated.
So all these things too.
Yes.
I'm using it to also
Talk to
remind myself as well. This truth.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure to our listeners, whether you're a teacher, a parent, or a leader, remember, the future of education depends on how well we take care of those who carry the chalk, the charts, and the children. I love mentioning the children. That is our why. All right. So if this episode spoke to you, share it with a teacher who needs encouragement today. We don't want all our teachers to leave the classroom. We need them. Don't forget to follow Chalk and Chat by Blooming Kids House for more inspiring conversation. And to that, we say bye.